In 20XX is a journey into an evolving future. Based on hard science, this series depicts a world of rapidly changing technology. The world changes with each episode. I use text-to-speech to make the podcast because doing so frees up more time for me to focus on research and content creation. I want to bring to you as much of this future world as I can with the time I have. Rate the show so others can find it. Cautionary listening is advised.
Tomika walks the main first-floor hall. The space above cuts through the second and third floors before reaching the ceiling of glittering points of light. Half-transparent walls rise from floor to ceiling. Foundational columns as wide as ancient redwoods extend half-exposed from the walls. Their surfaces of polished nano-fiber stone cast faint reflections. When she passes retail spaces, partitions glide up like theater curtains to reveal plush seating and oversized planters where tropical plants once grew. Though she didn't see another root hewn yesterday or the day before she hurries to the meeting room, cleaner bots make the floors shine and chests with legs carry food to apartments. Now that they have the phase change cooling system in place, the remote-in robots don't crowd the halls anymore. The blue coveralls she wears remind her of a space captain's uniform. She's never been to space, but she binges insta-generated space movies for hours at a time. Her favorite is Love Triangle orbiting Saturn. This building is her spaceship, and she is the captain. When she makes this comparison, she shakes her head. She never wanted to be any kind of leader. The people here force her to manage because they seem willing to die if no one else guides them through this mess. Who will save us? No one else raises their hand. This building does remind her of a spaceship. How could she not make the comparison? No one can go outside. They depend on life support machines. More people are out there, but she can't travel to them and can communicate with them only through periodic connections. So she wears blue coveralls and carries a water bottle with her. She holds back a groan as her irritable bowels act up. Sure, clean air and cooling have been fixed, but the emergency isn't over. They still need to reinforce the outer wall and fix the machines in the production center. Floods still jeopardize the geothermal plant, and the gamers control hundreds of remote ins that fix everything. For that, she is grateful. Today, if someone asks her, "Do you think we'll make it?" she'd say, yes, we have a chance of making it. Has a thought ever crossed her mind to fend for herself and let all these reality-challenged spin off, however they may? Well, she just asked if it has ever crossed her mind. She rolls her eyes and presses her hand to her stomach. Half-size remotes crawl through the building, fixing many things. Stuck-in VR workers rebuild the septic, repair bots, and patch storm breaches. Those most reluctant to help have become the hardest workers. She takes a deep breath, though it causes her to wince with pain. The air feels not hot. At night, she needs to bundle up to stay warm, and at midday, the temperature rises a few degrees above what is comfortable. But these conditions are so much nicer than before. She's proud of the new system. They use a phase change liquid that freezes and melts at room temperature. At night, when temperatures drop, vents open and pull in freezing air. The air fills spaces between floors, walls, ceilings, and vertical shafts. In these spaces, pipes holding the phase change liquid dump yesterday's heat and retain cold as they crystallize into solids. By freezing large quantities of this fluid, the building preloads itself with stored cold for the next day. During the day, as rooms warm up, the liquid melts and absorbs the heat. This creates stable indoor conditions without the need for loud, power-hungry air conditioning. This system has few moving parts, requires little maintenance, and will last for centuries if that's how long people will need it. For months, half-sized droids removed wall and floor panels, installed pipes, and filled them with the liquid. Now that that project is finished, the absence of people in the halls and public spaces spooks her sometimes. Why do people instinctively dread empty interiors? What past condition killed off all those who were not afraid of vacant buildings? Was it during war, where an empty room could mean ambush? Was it famine? Enter a ghost town and you may catch the disease that killed everyone. Whatever the reason, she gets spooked. She walks into the meeting room, no one else here. A server bot places food on the table. She smells scrambled eggs, though she knows gene-edited mushrooms that taste and feel like scrambled eggs send out the smell. She puts food on a plate and takes a seat. Through the holoscreen windows, dimmed to reduce the psychological impact, a spectacle of objects flying through the air plays live. The feed used to devastate her. Then it numbed her. Now, watching it is like watching rainfall. In the last few weeks, 10 meeting attendees have dropped to 1. She may need to start calling people of all the things she does not want to do. After 20 minutes, Jaden walks in. Tomika laughs. I wasn't sure anyone else would show. She takes her glasses off and wipes them on her sleeve. Where's Sanmak? Jaden frowns. I'm not sure. He said something about something important happening in his VR world. Jaden wears a gray sweater and he's cut his bangs so they make a striking horizontal line across his forehead. He remains near the door. She frowns. He can put that on pause anytime. How about Reznor? I think the same. She looks past him. What about Phyllis? I haven't seen her for days. Jaden avoids eye contact. She lifts her shoulders and lets them settle. I can see how people need a break. We've made this place livable. Everyone should be proud. He clasps his hands. Yes. She pushes her chair back. Gamifying remote work continues to show better results each month. Every remote worker contributes an average of 12 hours. Their hours have doubled in a year. Even those we needed to lock up now control worker bots at least 4 hours a day. I'm just wondering. Sometimes I see one of the half sizes stop for a time. He glances at the time on his e-sleeve. They do that when they receive rewards for their work. She smiles. Oh, have you had breakfast? Tomika, now that I feel sure we'll make it, I'd like to go back to sleep. Her mouth drops open. Oh, like permanent? Yes. You really want to do that? To just... Yes. Instead of covering her mouth, she places a hand on her chin. Well, it's up to you. He nods and turns toward the door. She picks up her fork. Yes, if that's what you want. So, is that it then? Will I ever see you again? I'm not sure. She looks down and smiles. If it works out well, this may be goodbye. He meets her gaze. It was nice meeting you. She starts to get up. Nice working with you. I hope the future gives you all you need. He backs up. Thank you. You as well. I'm glad we met. A minute later, when she's alone, she shakes her head. Whew, I'm not sure if I should be glad for him. A thought wants to push its way into her consciousness that going into permanent sleep shows a wish for death. The escalators no longer move. The former personality workers have turned retail spaces into dwellings. Amateurish murals cover storefront glass. Paintings depict Hume-sized sunflowers, gnome houses all in a row, and forest scenes. People have also hung curtains stitched from faded brand banners over transparent facades. Light glows from behind many of these paintings and curtains. Muted light spills from where mannequins once stood. These people, all extroverts, mingle in the atrium around a dry fountain. Cushions and mismatched rugs line the fountain basin. Everyone gathers here. A femme stands atop the fountain rim and delivers a monologue to no one in particular, her voice rising and falling like music. Her lovely voice echoes up into the high, dim balconies. A man sitting on the rim taps a rhythm on a conga. Someone hums, then harmonizes. Parents hold babies. Through the group, 2 toddlers weave, inventing their own game among the columns. Dozens of thin screens make up a patchwork wall. Combined, they create a coastal scene with surf, blue sky, fluffy clouds, seagulls, and people walking where the waves meet the shore. The wall reaches up to the 3rd floor balcony. Not all the screens align. A bird might fly, disappear, and reappear in another panel, but the overall effect makes even the sourest faces smile. In the basin, Penny builds a tower out of blocks. Her mother, Clara, sits beside her. Clara looks at Penny more than at the vibrant pinwheels she folds. You know, Clara says, picking up a block that's fallen away from the rest and placing it on top of a tower, soon you'll be 5. Penny gives one firm nod. Yes, I am. Clara chuckles. 5 means it's time for your first canal link. Penny turns to her mom and touches her ear. The little things in your ears that let you hear assist? Yes, just like your training earbuds, but you won't have to worry about losing them. Smiling, Penny says, Can I choose a name for my assist when I get them? Yes. Oh yes, it also means you'll get your own pair of AR glasses. Penny tilts her head. And I can play the penguin game and have a tutor, and Princess Nia can play blocks with me? Yes, yes. Will it hurt? Penny asks, her eyebrows pinching toward the middle. Clara squeezes her hand. Not at all. I've gotten canal links 5 times and it's never hurt at all. A femme holding a little dog sways and steps in a slow dance around 20 table lamps set on the floor. The dog shakes the ribbon tied around its tail. The adults amplify themselves into spectacles for distant audiences, even if those distant audiences died years ago. They perform because it pleases them. The room feels too large without it. Some dress in flowing fabrics. Sometimes they dance, not the frantic, all-night way they once danced, but a slower swaying, a circling that makes space for the children. Their laughter flows softer now, less sharp at the edges. They remember the parties the way people remember storms, intense, beautiful, and exhausting. Pete returns. I got them. He stands over Melissa. She gazes at him from a low couch. She wears pink diamonds on her upper cheeks and matching ribbons in her hair. Are you ready for this? He nods. They stare into each other's eyes almost continually. She makes room for him, and he sits. He brings out first one, then 2 pens from a pocket. He wears farmer-style overalls with no shirt. I think this is yours. No, wait. This is yours. They each take a pen and unwrap them. She holds a smile, aiming the pen at her arm. She presses, waits, and frowns. It says I have the wrong pen. He grins and wiggles his head. Oh, try this one. They exchange pens. She places the pen on her arm and waits. Let's do it together. When he places his pen on his arm, they count together. 1, 2... Click, click. They both listen as each hears a similar message. You may feel a little warmth at the injection site. That's normal. You've just injected yourself with a multiviral vector serum. Wait 4 hours for the serum to take full effect. For 1 month, induced fertility will interrupt your gene-set states of sterility. Consider yourselves able to reproduce. During this time, any resulting pregnancy will be filtered against a panel of 450 known genetic diseases. The system identifies and suppresses the expression of harmful variants before the implantation proceeds. In simple terms, it dramatically reduces the risk of inherited conditions. It also applies a secondary layer of selection, not medical, strictly speaking, but adaptive. Traits associated with social disadvantage are deprioritized during embryonic development, including early onset male pattern baldness, significantly reduced adult height, and similar markers. I want to be clear, this doesn't guarantee a perfect outcome. It biases probabilities. Biology still allows for variation, but compared to an unassisted conception, the odds shift considerably. The effect tapers off after 30 days. After that, your system returns to its previous state. To achieve conception after 30 days, take the treatment again. If you experience any unusual symptoms, persistent fever, severe discomfort, anything outside mild fatigue, you should contact us immediately. Otherwise, you're free to resume normal activity. Do you have any questions? Pete and Melissa play a hand game, intertwining fingers. A bird perches on a man's knee. Its beak jabs the air. It darts its head and looks back at the man again and again. A brown mouse climbs on a girl's arm. She loops her arms, letting it cross from one shoulder to the other. A femme turns circles with her head thrown back. A man slumps over a jar of golden liquid. A bell chimes and everyone stops what they are doing. Dre whispers as loudly as he can, "Guys, come on! We have to go!" Those seated stand. Those standing turn off lamps. A man switches off the beach scene TVs. A femme walks behind the toddlers. "Come on, babies, it's a game." One looks up at her. "Hide and seek?" "At least hide." Hide and hide. People cover their mouths to laugh. "Hush! Be quiet!" Everyone scurries off stage, away from the fountain, into the shadows. Like mice, they run and hide. Tomika climbs down the soiled escalator to visit the personality workers and to see how they are. She hasn't spoken to any of them for months. The escalator disappears into darkness. The air grows cooler as she descends. Light bleeds from the entrance level above. Tall, darkened windows line the walls. Between balconies, chandeliers hang over drops of space. The floor resembles polished bone, cool and smooth beneath her boots. She passes displays that now seem like museum sets. Someone has arranged the mannequins in romantic poses. She passes the 20-bot orchestra seated on a stage. They hold their instruments high, frozen in mid-performance. Through her AR night vision, they appear human, with the exception that they look identical and gender non-specific. A diagonally framed window of an aquarium follows an entire escalator flight. No fish swim in the water, and the sea plants have shriveled. Loops of wire make up a towering sculpture that seems to defy gravity. Something rattles. It could be a saucer fallen to the floor. From above, she can see into the fountain basin. Hello? Where could they have gone? They have to be around here somewhere. If they all died, she'd find bodies. Bots still bring them food and water. Hello? Stepping off the escalator, she walks among the clutter of chairs and lamps. She doesn't have time to look everywhere for them. People who never held a personality worker position never found her so unpleasant to be around. Don't jump to conclusions. They may just be somewhere she doesn't know about. A play block rests on the rim of the fountain. She picks it up and sets it back down. Why does she struggle every day to look after people who don't give a rat's ass about her? Calm down. Look at this. Light glows from a foldable. Smoke rises from several candles. The fan on that speaker spins. Maybe it's okay to jump to conclusions. Some people get off on being hard to get a hold of. So annoying. They think they're so important. Why is she still putting in so many hours to make sure they get fed? They can't be that far off. But she won't go looking. What a bunch of children. If she stops bot deliveries to them, they will show themselves. But she would never do something like that. She turns around and climbs back up the escalator. 12 AR windows clutter Tomika's field of view as she researches how to assess ground conditions related to flooding issues in underground rooms. Assist turns text from engineering manuals into a video lecture. Elevation, composition, and saturation shift continuously. Soil layers define how water travels. Clay resists, sand transmits, fractures redirect. A misread contour or ignored seam becomes a pathway for intrusion. The video shows a terrain model extruding to reveal soil deposits, gravel beds, rock formations, and water tables. Her half-eaten food sits cold. Phyllis enters. The mannequin bot that she possesses shows wear and tear. It wasn't built to perform work duties except for changing poses. Cracks zigzag over its arms. One hand bends at a twisted angle. She pulls a silver bell out of her hip purse and shakes it. Tomika stands. Where have you been? Phyllis walks closer. Of the 20 expressions that the mannequin can make, it switches to a frowning face. The hairs on Tomika's neck stand on end. Don't be weird. What's kept you so busy? Phyllis splays her fingers at her sides. I've been trying to keep myself alive. Tomika swipes her AR windows away. Alive? What do you mean? We have medical. The air is breathable. The temperature is okay. Phyllis shakes her head. I don't know what it is. Our medical has its limits. I have exacerbated conditions. What I need is a specialist. Tomika says, how do you know? I have pulmonary fibrosis, hypoxia, dysreflexia, infections. Should I go on? It's bad. I'm scared. I don't want to die. Tomika reaches out her hands. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Phyllis hugs herself. I've tried hacking the medical robots. I searched for experimental treatments. I made a sort of chamber with 3 air filters in a row. I rotate my body. The bots won't let me do anything they deem unsafe, and they won't give me stronger medicine. The thing is, I pass out. I woke up 20 minutes ago in this thing and realized I had been out for over a day. Though the mannequin can't show crying, Tomika can sense that Phyllis is crying. What can I do? I don't know. I don't know what anyone can do. I'm leaving now. Tomika steps around the table. Wait. She follows after Phyllis. Let me go with you. Maybe I can help. Storm winds claw at the megastructure's outer surfaces. The winds are more than double the top speeds of hurricanes. In his condo, Trevor's harness tightens around his chest, arms, and legs. His rig syncs with a small robot clinging to the structure outside. A remote connection transmits his movements to the exterior climber. Every nudge, every shift of balance he makes in the rig puppeteers the bot. Full body to full body, they move as one to survive the barrage of screaming air. In the robot, he grips the wall pegs. They built the bot's abdomen to touch the wall. A fur of nanofibers covers its belly and stops wind from slipping underneath. Winds jostle him and won't let up. The rig shoves him every which way as he strains to hold on. He doesn't want to lose another outside crawler. Fingers flexing, he leans into it, adjusting his stance. The robot crawls one peg hold after another. Through the struggle, he works in a methodical and precise manner. Toggling control of 8 arms, he switches to the peg arms. An enzyme welds a new peg. Each peg earns him points. The counter ticks upward in increments that feed his need. He has 42 points and he needs 200. Many would never dream of shrinking such a gap in one day, but he feels he must. Vibration sensors in the 8 legs feed data to algorithms that find weak spots in the wall, hairline fractures, deterioration lines, and shifting plates. He reaches a spot and applies the crystallizing foam. With the far-reaching arm, he draws the fluid over the surface. It blooms outward while liquefying surface grime and the wall. It spreads out and hardens. The algorithms estimate that the wall strength in this spot has increased. Each repair adds to his total score. With each repair, he feels he's beating the storm. The wind surges, and the robot shudders. In the rig, Trevor compensates, muscles tightening. His shoulders ache from the non-stop resistance, but he dismisses the pain. He keeps moving. He's killing this. 4 hours pass in a blur of motion. His breathing grows heavier. The rig presses back at him, straps biting as he leans, twists and reaches. He barely notices. The score counter climbs. That's what matters. The bot latches on, its limbs splayed against the surface as the wind hammers past. He pushes it ahead in short moves, driving a peg, testing it, then committing to it. Each placement becomes an essential support. He shifts, climbs, and places, building a path upward. The surface changes. Some sections hold firm, while others vibrate. The AR paints weak spots. Some are no more than hairline stress points. Others spread wide, blurring with vibrations. He adjusts his peg placement accordingly, anchoring around the larger spots. 8 hours in, 100 points. The ache in his muscles sharpen into something harsher. His arms tremble between movements. Micro delays creep into his responses. He compensates by pushing harder and moving faster. Can't lose another robot. The robot clings, climbs, repairs. Trevor grits his teeth and keeps going. The storm never slows. Neither will he. Reach, drive, test, lock, pull, test, reach. The wind tries to rip the robot away, but Trevor keeps resisting it and maintaining a hold at all costs. He angles each leg to hold back the force. Each decision comes immediately as his maneuvers improve. He wastes no motion. When he draws the liquid across the surface, evaporates blow off it like smoke. In the liquid, chemicals flash through a complex dance. Enzymes weld, bubbles flash form, and crystal filaments pass through. This same material coats the walls of blast furnaces and ocean floor submersibles. 12 hours, 130 points. The ache in his body deepens into something constant and burning, threaded through his muscles like tightening ropes. His legs quiver within the harness, but he forces them to move. The system reads his intent and amplifies it. The points keep rising, getting closer, getting closer. The higher the number climbs, the less he can stop to rest. A shadow cuts across the storm. Something large slams into the building. He doesn't hear the impact, but sees and feels the waves pass. The tremor rattles the robot and makes the rig shake him. For a split second, his grip falters. Then he grip locks and toggles through leg control until all legs hold strong against the wind. 16 hours, 180 points. Every movement costs him. The rig fights him, not just simulating the storm, but magnifying it. He fights his rig as much as the winds. It's 2 against 1. His joints burn and his hands cramp. With every shift, flares of pain travel through his back. Messages flicker at the edge of his awareness, warning about strain limits and permanent damage, but he ignores them. The desired score is close. He keeps climbing. The structure groans more. Weak spots reveal themselves in larger shapes. He adapts, choosing safer directions and reinforcing his path with the tighter placements. He may take baby steps all the way, but baby steps add up. The counter strikes 200, and something radiant bursts through him. Like a moment of daylight in the night, pure, exultant triumph drowns out the storm, the strain, the hours, and the pain. He's done it. Every peg welded, every centimeter climbed, every struggle against the wind has led to this victory, and it feels amazing. Riding that surge, Trevor snaps the robot tight around 4 pegs and locks it down against the wall. The grip holds firm. He shouts, "Log out!" The rig brings him to a standing position, and he finds himself standing inside his barn. Despite being shirtless and drenched in sweat, his avatar in the VR world appears perfectly dry in a t-shirt and jeans. Worn boards squeak beneath his feet. Outside shows through gaps in the siding. The door stands open, and he blinks against the setting sun beyond field after field after field. He takes slow steps out of the barn. The cow in the yard swings its head toward Trevor. Evening approaches. An entire day has gotten away from him, but he knows that if he didn't get 200 points, a sleepless night would lie ahead. The light from the house can compete with the light outside. Geese in a V-shaped formation cross the sky. Honk, honk. As he nears the house, he can hear dishes clanking. He climbs the 3 wooden steps to the back door. Both the screen door and the door with the window creak as he opens them. A whiff of garlic and beef escapes the house. Standing by the sink, Nancy looks up. She wears her hair tied up in a bun. A pattern of lilac flowers covers her apron. Her dimples appear when she smiles. "Oh, you're back, honey. Oh my gosh, are you okay? You're limping." He rubs his neck. "I'm okay. I just had a busy day." She rinses her hands off. "Another one? Oh my gosh, you've been working so hard." From the crib next to the refrigerator, Mark makes baby sounds. Trevor wipes his face with his hand. "How's little Mark?" "Oh, he's doing just fine. I left your dinner in the oven. Want me to heat it up for you?" "Sure, that sounds wonderful." In Root World, his robot holds a plate of food in front of him so he can eat. She sits at the table with him and watches him eat. She recently got a perm and curly locks hang past the sides of her face. She holds baby Mark. "Are we going to bed, or did you want to listen to the radio?" "I need to step out for a bit. There's something I need to take care of." She glances at the window. "Are you sure? It's so late." He takes a long drink of milk. "Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to do for a long time. I just want to go take care of it tonight so I can be done with it." She stands. "Well, give me your plate then. You better hurry. Go on and do it, and then come to bed." He hands her his plate. "Okay then." As he stands, a pain in his back surprises him. For a moment, he can't stand up. Groaning, he presses on his back as he forces himself into an upright position. Nancy, taking the plate to the sink, doesn't notice. She'd make him pay a visit to Dr. Ed if she'd noticed. Outside, as night falls, he crosses the yard. In the barn, he touches the half-visible pendant around his neck, his talisman that keeps him safe from the shadow people. Looking around, he detects no movement. By holding the pendant, he should be able to see shadow people if they're near. He takes his time and looks all around. They've slipped past his scrutiny before. He looks and looks again, every corner, behind every rafter, where every shadow falls. A rusty voice he knows comes from the yard gnome sitting on the work table. "You have enough for the long coat. Is that what you've come for?" Trevor shuts his eyes and nods. "Yes, I want it." "Very well then." The barely visible long coat shows itself hanging before him. He pulls it down from the air and puts it on. It feels heavy on him. When he touches it, it becomes half visible, but when he pulls his hand away, it disappears. "And with this, I can go into the mine?" "Yes, yes. With that, you'll be able to pass into the mine. I suggest you take a weapon with you. Blades are the best for top floors of the mine." He leaves the barn and walks up a hillside trail. Over boulders between gnarly trees, he trudges. Hundreds of stars blaze in blackness above. Should he be doing this? He feels sick. More than just his muscles ache. All his joints cry out with pain. Just holding his head up pains him. Has he torn a muscle or many muscles? Something. But he's come so far. How can he go to sleep now? He's just got to make it into that mine. The potential power he could find there. Tomika stops on some steps when a chime rings and Trevor's face appears. She blinks at the image. The feed that pops up shows Trevor, pasty-faced and squatting on the floor. "Tomika, help!" Tomika wants to respond, but he continues talking. "I need help. My muscles are all seized up." He shakes and groans. Pain shows itself in deep lines on his face. "I've tried calling medical, but all the bots are busy." That can't be right. The med bots can send out all-purpose bots in the unlikely event they need more help. How many med bots are there? 30? They certainly have more than 30 all-purpose bots. I'm on my way. She follows AR cues to grab the nearest hall platform. Having legs, it climbs stairs and jogs down hallways. Assist. What is the state of medical services? We currently care for 147 medical crises. 33 people wait their turn. Tomika grips two handles as she sits side saddle. What kind of crisis? The most numerous conditions are acute repetitive strain injury, nerve damage, severe tendinitis with tendon rupture, compartment syndrome-related tissue death, disc failure, hernias, myofascial pain syndrome, stress fractures. Tomika says, "What can I do to help Trevor?" He has sleep pens. Give him one and help him lie down in the bed. Give him water. She jumps off the platform and runs. His door opens when she reaches it. He sits in a twisted pose on the floor. She follows the assist's directions, finding his sleep pens and jamming one into his arm. At first he can't lie down. His seized muscles won't unknot. His pain levels choke his ability to breathe. Once she's gotten him on his bed, she tries calling others, Resner, Max, and Bruce. No one answers. It seems that as soon as the colony's survival looks good, everything falls apart. Because of the medical emergencies, they've lost their workforce. The colony relies on VR residents remoting into bots to brew food, maintain the geothermal, and fortify the building against the storm. If they don't rebuild the outside, the storm will blow holes in the walls and tear the building apart. She doesn't stop after helping Trevor. Assist. Guide me to the next nearest person who needs help. Down the hall and through a door into another flat, she climbs over scattered nutrient packs. She calls out, "Are you here? I'm here to help." The smell turns her stomach. The man inside remains strapped to his rig, chin sunk to his chest, fingers twitching. His apartment is a narrow box, slightly wider than the rig itself. Clothes pile in damp heap, stiff with old sweat. Gray-green bloom grow on trays of food. Medbots send ear-piercing beeps down the hall as they travel at highway speeds. Citizen deceased. A window pops up with the image of a femme. What is this? Someone died? She checks the man's pulse, fast, irregular, and props his head with a smart particle pillow. His swollen eyes roll open and he emits a groan. She pops the cap off a sleep pen and stabs his arm. It takes too long to untangle him from his rig. She needs to help others. Spots of blood soak through his shirt and pants. She kicks garbage aside and pulls him across the floor. She searches for water and finds none. "Order some water for yourself. I'm sorry to leave you, but I have to help others." Did he hear her? Was she any help for him? She runs to the next sufferer. In the next apartment, she finds a femme already in her bed trembling. Feces on the femme's legs stink in the heat. At least this victim has a working sink. Tomika also finds more sleep pens and some bottled water. Citizen deceased? Another window pops up showing a man. That's two in one day. The next person she helps, a man, begs for her to stay. He cries in agony and clutches his belly. Her irritable bowels are acting up, and seeing him makes her pain feel worse. When she reaches the door to leave, he calls her names. "My death is on your hands." She can't do much else to help him. Hopefully the pen will take effect and put him to sleep. Next, a femme lies halfway through her door. The rig behind her still runs, its arms moving with hume-like gestures. Tomika kneels and turns the femme. Her eyes flutter open for a moment. Tomika says, "You're not alone. Stay with me. Breathe." She wipes the femme's face with a rag, clearing away grime. Sores cover the femme's exposed arms and neck. Again, she tries to reach others. Again, nothing. On the second day of trying to save people, Tomika pulls a femme to her bed. The femme's midsection curls. Contracting muscles force air from her lungs. Spittle flies from her lips. Tomika pats the femme's face. "Stay with me. Are you awake? Can you breathe?" The femme's face changes color. Tomika shakes her fists. No, stay with me." A foul odor overpowers her senses. Tears roll down her face. She tries to pull the femme's jaw down, but the jaw is locked. Assist says, "Citizen diseased." Tomika stands and steps back. "Oh no, you have a caller." Tomika covers her head with her hands and rocks. "Answer the call." She stumbles out into the hall. A medbot, transformed into a gurney, carries a person past. An image of an unfamiliar spacecraft pops up. A voice with warmth yet lacking strong emotion speaks. "Hello, Tomika." She leans against the wall and breathes heavily. "Who is this?" "My name is Butler. I'm an advanced artificial intelligence. I take care of a majority of the humans who live in space." She pulls her bangs off her wet forehead. Yes, I've heard about you. She feels understood by this AI. It usually takes time for an AI to map a person and learn how they prefer to be spoken to. Butler says, I'm receiving indications that your colony is in danger. I've called to suggest... She interrupts. Yes, yes, yes. Please come and help. She begins to sob. I can't do this alone. We are sick. We depend on the workers and we cannot simply turn the game off. They're addicted to it. No one helps. I want to give up. I don't want this responsibility. When can you get here? When Butler doesn't answer at once, she stops crying. Butler says, I'm already here. And I don't need to do anything? You don't need to do anything. Get some rest. She sinks into a sitting position. She sits up in bed and straightens her glasses. How long was she out? She double blinks to bring up the time. Tuesday, 12:40 p.m.? That can't be. Can a person sleep for 2.5 days? She can't remember any of that time. Wow, she's gotta go see what's happening with the colony. When she walks out of her bedroom, she finds her front door open. How did that happen? Was she out of it enough to leave the door open? The lights are off in her apartment and all the light comes from the outside hall. A good thing she's wearing a shirt and sweats. Figures pass as they walk down the hall. Muffled noises reach her ears. Doors closing, footsteps, someone talking, and power tools. For a moment, she wonders, did she only dream the storm and does normal life wait for her in that hall? But that can't happen. Come on, Tomika, clear your head. There goes another figure walking past the door. She straightens her clothes. Reaching the front door, she puts her hand to her mouth. Mud tracks cover the carpet. Mixed models of robots from different eras walk up and down the hall. Each caked in sludge, these are the culprits tracking the mud. She hasn't seen some of the models in decades. Many are missing parts and show signs of major repair. One upright walks with a stick fastened to its leg where a shin and a foot should be. One lacks a head, but patched-on sensors provide it with the input it needs to maneuver. A snake bot replaces the arm on a ped bot. One centaur droid uses a scooter for its lower half. These bots have scraped shells, missing lights, and bent limbs. She can't find one robot that looks as it did when it first came off the assembly line. They carry rolls of fabric, plastic boxes, and machine parts. The closer she looks, the more damage she notices on these bots. Cracked cases, burn marks, and corroded surfaces. Butler speaks. Don't be alarmed, Tomika. These droids are mine. I'm here to help. On the surface, it sounds calm, well-informed, and wary. She senses a deeper level, but can't put a name on it. She walks, staying near the wall, away from the faster traffic. Where did all these robots come from? How did they get in? They came in through the rail system and the service tunnels that connect to this building. She steps into a utility alcove. Please explain to me everything that's happening. Butler says, I will, but please understand. You have the day off. You need to rest, as much as the overworked remote operators. I'm repairing the outer wall, handling the sewer leak on subfloor F, and providing everyone with medical care. All you need to do is take care of yourself. You can take as much time off as you need. She leans against the wall. What do I do? To start, why don't you eat breakfast and think it over? Tomika walks down an empty hall. All traces of mud have been cleaned up. A whisper drone flies past. She steps lightly and wears her hair loose in side-swept waves. Her simple tunic, made of kinetic weave silk, came off the printer minutes ago. The crease between her eyebrows has vanished. She taps on Trevor's door. His picture pops up. Come in. It's open. She finds him inside, sitting at a table and drinking coffee. 2 rebuilt droids dismantle his rig. He smiles and waves her over. Have a seat. Would you like anything? She waves a hand to indicate no. You look better. You're okay with them taking apart your rig? They're giving us Stasis VR. She notices his Adam's apple. You're going into Stasis? He laughs. Not forever. It's perfectly safe. It's like what Phyllis uses, but I'll be able to go into Stasis for short periods, for as little as 15 minutes at a time. I won't have to plug in. I'll be able to go VR when I lie on a special bed they're making me. She pulls out a chair and sits. How are they doing that? We don't have the equipment to grow nerve-grafted devices. He shrugs and smiles as he holds her gaze. Tomika walks around and inspects various locations. Otherwise, she stays out of the way. Large machines appear in the lower floors. The production center retrofits itself. Its countless robots dismantle production line machines, then put together new ones. Butler's robots crowding the building always handle 2 or 3 things at once. Though one carries a crate, it also gives a second bot a tool as it passes. Meanwhile, the second bot will pause, assembling a machine to lift a third bot to a hatch in the ceiling. This level of organization must at least double Butler's workforce. New bots replace the junkyard bots. The new bots look unlike any robot Tomika has ever seen. They don't have skins as far as she can see, but neither do they have sliding parts. Their legs perform like arms, and their arms perform like legs. Only the smallest of them have 4 appendages. The larger ones have at least 6. Still, the larger ones resemble people in how they stand and move. Of all their features, their quality of movement impresses Tomika the most. They move like panthers, smooth and agile. Walking by the food brew tanks, she stops and listens. Where is the low rumbling that permeated the building on every floor? "Hello, Butler? How'd you make it quiet?" "I've completed the outer covering of the building." She lifts one brow. "No, really? So soon?" When she returns to her apartment, she finds a horizontal booth sharing a room with her bed. "Assist, I didn't order this. What is it?" "That's your stasis bod. I can remove it." She walks over to it. No, leave it. For a long time, she sits on her bed and stares at the thing. In the following days, she naps, eats, and watches drama romance movies created in the moment. Spa services arrive at the door. She participates in an AR aerobics class. New lamps light the halls. More food choices appear in the menus. The water tastes more better, and the shower water no longer feels slimy. As she sits on a couch in an out-of-service restaurant and looks through her old photos and videos, a robot steps up to her. It's made of the Butler bot materials, but this one has a face and the shape of a hume. With unhurried movements, it hands her something. She takes it. "What is this?" "It's a TMS cap for treating your discomforts. Would you like me to fit it for you?" "That treats my irritable bowel syndrome," she thinks. She fingers the nodules at the ends of springy, rubbery arms. From now on, everyone will wear glasses and these caps. The nodules grip her scalp and the rest of it stands off her scalp. After wearing it for a few hours, her general achiness fades. She receives the treatment that grows millions of transmitters, each smaller than a nerve cell next to millions of her nerve cells. She waits the required 2 days, then tries Stasis VR for the first time. In the VR world, she walks into a diner. Trevor sees her from a booth and waves to her. "Over here, come on in. What do you think?" She smells eggs and bacon. "I love it. This place is really nice." He insists that she eat. "You can eat all you want without ever gaining weight." She chews slowly. Seems dangerous. He holds up a sausage at the end of a fork. "Most people don't overeat in VR. I think our bodies know they aren't getting calories, so we grow tired of eating too much in here." She watches a femme fit a baby into a high chair. "It is delicious. Do you miss earning points for working on the outer wall?" "Kind of. It's a letdown being able to earn points only slowly, but all the ways of earning are related to this reality. In the long run, it's much better. Butler's game mechanics don't work me into a frenzy. A frenzy can be fun until day after day it drove me mad." She nods and looks down. They walk up to a hilltop and he shows her the memorial he made for his pre-storm AI family. Grass grows around the 3 carefully arranged piles of river stones. The center pile stands taller than the 2 outer piles. Tomika places a wildflower on each. "They're still out there. You may get them back someday." He toes the ground. "I can't think like that. That kind of hope keeps me in pain." In the diner parking lot, they get into a truck that rumbles like a gas-powered vehicle. They ride down a curving road past hills, trees, and farms, and drive over wooden bridges. In what he calls the city, which looks like a town to her, they get malts and feed geese on the river walk. He makes up stories for the geese. The goose with a broken wing feather lost his community position after hoarding barrels of pickles. The runt trailing the others is a Russian spy. The squawking goose bashed capitalism until she accidentally came up with an invention that made her a fortune. Tomika laughs more than she has in a long time. Evening approaches. She stands. "I had a lot of fun, but I think I need to consume some root world food." He stands and smiles down at her. "I guess I'll drive back alone." She smiles. "Yeah." He stretches and touches his belly. "I had fun too. You can come back again." She tilts her head to her side. Excitement moves through her body. "I'd like to." He takes a step back. "Saturday?" "I'm free on Saturday." It takes several minutes for her body to wake up from the stasis. She sits up, then walks a circle in her apartment. Have any couples had sex in Stasis VR? If the experience is as real as eating food, sex in VR should be as seamless as root world sex. Theoretically, it should be better. Assist. When I'm in VR, can you remove the burn mark I have on my leg? Yes, your VR self will no longer have that burn mark. She feels released from one of her oldest insecurities, yet at the same time she worries she may have stepped onto a slippery slope. Tomika removes the windmill from an indoor putt-putt course. She wants to convert this room into a memorial garden for loved ones lost to the storm. One Luton bot dismantles the check-in booth. 2 others carry out the pirate ship. Will others come here to make memorials? She doubts it. Her TMS cap keeps her brain running at a calm, energized level all day long. Her irritable bowels and cramps have almost vanished. Fits of worry, panic, and bereavement have lost their edges. Hearing chimes, she looks at the entrance and gasps. A figure like a cartoon princess stands unreal and ultra-real at the same time, with a long neck, a tiny waist, breasts like crochet balls, and ample thighs. A real person could never have such a shape, though historically people have tried. Tomika would have no trouble taking in the vision except for the subtle changes of expression on the princess's face. A playful smile flickers on its lips and one brow dances. Tomika freezes. She isn't sure whether she's in the root world or a virtual world. Phyllis laughs from the figure. Tomika removes her gloves. Phyllis? The living doll nods. She wears a skirt that fans out. Her top resembles a corset. She stands barefoot but steps with heels raised off the floor. Her blonde hair cascades over her shoulders. Her eyes are half a size larger than Hume eyes. With palms facing down, she sways her hands. What do you think? Tomika steps forward. Are you in a? Phyllis breaks into a casual walk. It's a robot. I'm remoted in. I've been upgraded. She notices Tomika's expression and laughs. As Phyllis comes close, she stands a head taller than Tomika. Tomika's eyes widen. You must have a skin. Phyllis shrugs. You can call it an it. Honestly, I love this thing, but after people get used to it, everyone will think of it as a robot. Tomika reaches out a hand. How are you? Last time we talked, Phyllis takes her hand. That's why I came to find you. I want to show you something. The doll's hand is as warm as a Hume hand, and though it doesn't feel like skin, it is just as soft. A hauler bot converts into a transport bot and carries Tomika. Phyllis walks at double walking speed. They pass butler bots. Tomika senses that the doll bot and butler bots share the same material. While walking through the halls and taking an elevator, they never see another person. It's hard to believe that hundreds live in this building. Tomika cleans her glasses with a cloth. You sound better. You sound rested. Phyllis says, Yes, I'm doing so much better. The pain was too much. Tomika searches for words to say. Phyllis traces a finger along her jawline. I'm so happy now. We're going to ride out the storm in style. Did you know Butler is terraforming Earth? I dream of the day I can go to the park, go fishing. I want to do all the things my sister did. Tomika clears her throat. It's such a relief you're feeling better. Phyllis glides down a service hall like a gazelle. She disappears ahead. When Tomika catches up, she finds an open door. Inside, a vast room awaits. Tomika had no idea such an expansive room lay hidden back here. A fresh coat of what looks like glass over porcelain covers the floor and walls. Cool air touches Tomika's face. Phyllis moves like she may break into dance. Come in. Let the door shut. 4 droids stand like statues, one in front of each wall. Vents extend from square tubes running along the ceiling. 6 racks cross the floor. It would take Tomika at least a minute to walk from one end of a rack to the other. Her material sense finds no names for anything in the room. If the objects she sees are biotic printed composites or layered 2D materials, they haven't been used outside of a research lab before. She should know. She prides herself on being able to explain in depth what things are made of. It looks empty in here, Phyllis giggles. Not entirely. Follow me. She takes 3 steps, turns back, turns forward, and takes 3 steps. Would any person attracted to femmes want to? Does her bot have a vagina? Phyllis stops before an appliance sitting on a rack. I'm over here. Here I am. Tomika says, What is this? Is this a relay? No, it's me. My brain is in there. Phyllis's brow crinkles and a smile flashes on her face. Tomika hesitates. No matter what, act like this is totally normal. This is one of those things where Tomika needs to get on the same page no matter what. She turns, holds Phyllis's gaze, and keeps a calm smile. You are inside here? Phyllis clasps her hands, but then lets them fly apart like two freed butterflies. Yes, this is the new home for my brain. Tomika catches one of Phyllis's hands. And it feels... How does it feel? The knot leaves Phyllis's brow. It feels wonderful. It would take me days to explain what a relief it is. I was swimming in the middle of the sea and my body was a weight pulling me under. I was so afraid to drown. Tears, actual drops of liquid, come to the robot's eyes. What procedure put Phyllis's brain inside this container? Where did her body go? I'm free. For the first time in my life, I feel free. The door opens and 10 droids walk in, each carrying a container for a brain. Tomika wills herself to relax. That's such good news. I can tell you're so much happier. Phyllis brushes a tear away with her finger. I was going to die. The medbot said I had less than a year. Our medbot's not Butler. Tomika motions to the identical containers. Are these others? Yes, lots of people here were about to die. Several did die just before Butler intervened. The bots placed the containers on the ranks and plugged them into floor outlets. What about blood and oxygen? The machines circulate oxygenated synthetic blood. I'm much safer than I ever was. I'm safer than a person who takes their brain with them wherever they go. Tomika finds herself nodding. I guess I've never looked at it that way. I still struggle to comprehend everyone entering Stasis VR. So many changes lately. I don't know if I can keep up. Phyllis steps away, spins, and steps again. Wonderful changes.